All right. There. Turn the camera around. You don't want to see me anyway. In the shop this evening. I got the backhoe in here to do a little maintenance on it. Thought I'd do a live stream, kind of catch up with you guys. If we get anybody on here. See, I got one person watching, two. Let me know who's here. Let me know what you want to see tonight. Billy, you're first. How about that? I got 5 people watching now. We're gaining a little bit of momentum here. The backhoe's a filthy, dirty mess. Anyhow, Grundy, Virginia. Hey, Alan, how you doing? Hopefully you're drying up there. Chickasaw, I hope it's Choctaw, right? Chickasaw. I haven't heard of Chickasaw. Good to have you, Bill. I probably won't be on here for a long time. I'm just sitting out here in the shop. Thought I'd... Wow, we got somebody from Ireland. Michael Carroll, how about that? Thank you. Choctaw, there we go. I was thinking it's probably just a missed keystroke there. But anyhow, just wanted to check in with you guys. I hadn't done a live stream in a couple weeks. Yeah, Alan says he's fixing to get some more snow. That's not good. We're fixing to have record cold weather for March. Monday morning's supposed to be in the under 10 degrees, like 8 degrees here, so it's not going to be very pleasant. Usually this time of year we're looking at 55, 50 degree days, so it's just not good. But anyhow, well, I'm glad you caught this, Billy. Billy's been catching up on some of my videos. Hey, Old Man Marsh made it. Snowing and 30 degrees. Can't wait till spring. I tell you what, it ought to be a pretty green spring this year. Mighty Mo, welcome, my Canadian friend. How you doing? I hope this is turning out okay. I don't know if the stream's working out all right or not. I'm not trying to preempt anybody else's stream. I just thought I'd hop on here for a little bit. Just to catch up. I haven't done one. Like I said, I hadn't done one in a while, but I thought I'd do one from the backhoe. I hadn't had it in the shop. I need to do an oil change on it this weekend. That's kind of where we're at. But she's still running good. Over 9,600 hours. So Billy says they're getting more rain. I want to show you guys. Hey, I got Mr. Elite sticker on my hard hat here. I got to show you that. That's pretty cool of him to send me that. I've got some more stickers. I got to show you. I got to get out to show you this. But anyway, buddy of mine, new friend of mine. Actually, he's been watching my videos for some time now. He sent me the Make Backhoes Great Again sticker, and he also sent me this one right here. MS Earthworks, I believe his channel name. He's out of California. Anyway, he's sent me those. Even though he runs a mini excavator, he's okay with me making backhoes great again, I guess. So I appreciate that. Anyway, we're up to 15. Let me know who's here. And what you... I was out feeding cows with the backhoe just a minute ago, and I had a little scare. I thought I had locked up a dadgum front wheel bearing on this, I thought it was probably a planetary, like gear locked up. I was pushing them, but I usually unroll my hay when I unload it or put it out for my cows, and I was pushing the bale out there, and the front end started locking up, and I was in 2-wheel drive, so I thought, uh-oh, this ain't good. I went ahead and drove forward a little bit more, and it kind of freed up, and it's like, yeah, it's okay. And what had happened was I got some hay wrapped up around the front drive shaft, and pert near locked that dude up. That's a bunch of hours, isn't it, Alan? This machine, I don't know, you can probably hear goats squalling in the background. They're all hungry. But anyway, this machine here probably needs to be traded at some point. I hesitate to trade it because it's a good machine. I've owned it since it had 150 hours on it. I bought it, it's a 2007, but I actually bought it in 2010. So I know where it's been, I know what it's got, I know what it's capable of doing. And so it's one of them deals that I need to probably trade up one of these days. But AJ K&K, how you doing? Rebuild it. We spent a lot of money on this thing last year, and replaced the hydraulic pump, replaced the hydraulic cylinder. I can think off the top of my head about $9,000 worth of repairs. And but that being said, I don't have a payment today, so that's not all bad. But I do plan on what I would hey, Burning Dinosaurs made it over here. I talked to a guy the other day, Mighty Mo, that he had run a case backhoe up to, what did he tell me, 14,500 hours before the crankshaft broke. He fixed the crankshaft and he ran it another 5,000. So it's possible. I mean, the new stuff's new stuff, you got to pay for it. Ideally, what I'd like to do is buy another 11,000 hours on a John Deere. That's good. That's a lot of hours. Nothing wrong with that. We got, I might have missed your comment, and if I did, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to look back here. I'm on my phone. It's kind of hard to read them, but maybe I've caught everybody. Hope y'all had a good week this week. Yeah, you got to do maintenance if you want them to last. And one advantage I think I have is I'm the only guy that runs this one. That might help a little bit. I don't have hired hands that jump in it and treat it like it was rented. I think sometimes that can be tough on equipment. But anything you guys want to see? Anything? Oh my gosh. Eric says he's trying to work. Eric, you probably ought to you probably ought to be working, not worrying about what I'm doing. You don't have to do you don't have to do this. So you rebuilt the front differential on the John Deere. That's not too bad for that many hours. I'll tell you, the major things I've done to this one is the hydraulic pump, the hydraulic crowd cylinder. Those are the two major components that have been replaced. This engine has had one water pump replaced on it. The fuel lift pump has been replaced. So very little has been done to that. I have had some problems with pins and bushings. I've had some problems with some bushings. I think they're probably not quite lined up right, so it eats them up faster than it should, and that's a manufacturing flaw. That's probably just a New Holland thing, but I'd like to try to make it another year, maybe two, and try to get some of my money back on what I've replaced on it. If I do keep it, I'll probably buy another used machine. Hopefully low hour, maybe under 2,000 hours. That's kind of my target. But sorry, this is kind of an impromptu. There's probably going to be people mad because I didn't announce this was going to happen. Eric's probably one of them. But The hydraulic pump on this thing had a weird crack come up in the housing, and I think that's probably a flaw that was in there from the time it was built. Waste oil heater is working, yes sir. Today it's not that cold. It's 50 degrees, 45 out here in the shop right now, so I don't even have it turned on. But I need to do a little work. I've got the stack stuck out the side of the wall there. I need to run it straight up. It doesn't draft very well. Glad to hear you like the videos. Eric's trying to make sure I don't talk trash. I'm going to talk trash about Eric anytime I can, so you might as well just get back to work. Hey, Bill, thanks for stopping in. We've got plenty of oil for the heater. Don't worry about that. I'm hoping this winter is almost over. It's March. You know, it's Oklahoma. We shouldn't be having teens. We shouldn't be having snow, but that's what we got going on. Billy says he needs a backhoe. He says he can't find a decent one. Where are you at, Billy? What part of the country are you in? I don't know that I've ever asked you that. You may have told me and I may have forgotten. If I did, I'm sorry. Don't feel sorry for Eric. He's okay. He can dish it out just as, you know, he's all right. Don't worry about him. A little bit of news on the Bobcat. This is kind of funny. It's still in the shop, but I need to pull the motor back out. I had the motor out of that Bobcat. I had the, I pulled the pump out. I called a place, loader parts source out of, I think they're in Indiana. You did tell me. I'm sorry, Grundy, Virginia. Sorry about that. You did tell me that at the beginning of the pod, or this little, whatever you call it. It ain't a podcast. Thank God. Anyway, I did pull the engine out, but I talked to a guy at Loader Part Source. Those guys are so helpful. He talked to me for probably 15, 20 minutes, and he said, you know what you ought to do? He said, you ought to chop off the motor lines off that main pump and just see if you can kill the motor by running the sticks forward and reverse. And I thought, well, I've got the motor out, but here's the other deal. I don't want to waste this customer's money on this machine. If it's got a good main pump, I don't need to replace it. I don't really want to spend the $2,500 to $3,000, $2,500, $3,000 on replacing that pump. So I ended up putting the motor back in it. You can see it's back in there now. And I put the caps on it, and the left side would not kill, or let's see, left side would kill the motor, right side would not kill the motor. So it needs a new main pump, and that's been determined now, and I'm learning. I'll tell you what, I've learned quite a bit about Bobcats. Snow in Vegas last week. Now we have NASCAR in town and sunshine. Lucky you. 6,000 hours on a 580 Super M, bought 8 years ago. That's a good machine. Lots of those cases running around. That's a good. That Super M has the same engine, I believe, as this tractor here does. Pretty close to it, anyway. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing? There's another guy that's been commenting quite a bit on some of my videos. Welcome to the live stream. You're looking at a backhoe steering wheel right now. It's pretty exciting stuff. Anything you guys want to see, I'll show you around the cab. How about that? Up here we have the steering wheel. We have turn signals. We have forward and reverse stick. We have four-wheel drive button on and off, and also four-wheel brakes if you want to. You can kick that over there if you hit both. Hey, Jason, works a lot. You cannot get Making Backhoes Great Again on loggerwade.com. I have a copyright on that, Jason. That's mine, okay? You can't let Logger Wade have that. I know he wants it, but he can't have it. It's mine. Anyway, air vents. I tell you what, if you buy a backhoe and you can, get the glass. My little level here, sometimes we use that fire extinguisher, of course. Over here, we have a water jug holder. I always bring about a gallon of water. It's not in here with me tonight. Got the radio, got the charging cord for cell phone. Joystick controls on this machine. Are you guys doing a live stream tonight, Jason? I don't want to interfere. I will shut down probably before that anyway. But anyway, this is the view I have of most of my work right here. Well, it probably would not hurt my cause if we got it on loggerwade.com. You are correct. But anyway, here we go. We got pattern selector. You can change this machine from the right way to the wrong way, depending on who you talk to. This turns your controls off if you want to turn them off. Your sticks move together. That locks them in place. Cell phone holder, back window. This is one of the features I do love about a New Holland that they don't have on the case. I don't know of any other backhoe that has a back window that opens like this one. You pull these two levers down, and one-handed you got the whole window open, and you've got a clear view of everything back here behind you. One hand you can close it, and you still got a clear view without any lines across. That's one of the things I really like about a New Holland. Over here we've got the Outrigger Controls. Just kind of going over some stuff we got. We got the throttle, and this is the old style mechanical engine. We've got the parking brake. We've got the empty iced tea cup, air conditioner controls, key switch, lights, front and rear wiper. Loader control is up here. Hard hat. Like I said, Jason hasn't sent me a sticker, so I don't have a Jason Works lot, but I do have Elite Earthworks and, of course, Cunningham on here. I need some more stickers for that hard hat, guys. I would do some advertising for you. Anyway, let me catch up on some comments here. Let's see. Jonathan says he used to build fuel stations and site work for car dealerships. Jason says we're not interfering. Thank you, sir. Just trying to catch up on comments. Sorry about that. Iced tea. Yes, the iced tea cup had a leak. It was full when I got it from Tucker's. Obviously, there was something wrong with that cup, and it is empty. Thank you for asking. Thank you for sending stickers. I need to send you some, by the way, too, Jason. I got a few. And I'm still trying to work out the details on how to do that stuff, because it takes so much time to box stuff up and ship it out. I'm a little bit afraid to start trying to sell stuff, so I'm still trying to work that stuff out. They may give me a warranty claim on that. I might be able to, maybe I'll get a refill out of it. The case, you will hit a bump and the back window goes down automatic. That would not be great. I've never been a fan of the Case's back window. Case has a very good machine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Case. Case is good stuff. Offset seat and control deck would be cool on a backhoe. Maybe slide side to side, depending on how you're digging. You can actually set a backhoe up at a little bit of an angle, and you can see the boom just fine if you just take a little bit of time to do it. I'm glad we're getting this iced tea deal worked out. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. This is the bottom half of icebreakers mints. This is what you use when you got minor frost on your windshield in the morning. This is how you scrape it off. It does not work for ice. It works for frost. But anyway, that's why that's in here. But anyway, there's my my Lincoln grease gun, my little toolkit, and this is all a mess. It's all fixing to get cleaned up. This is what it looks like after working for about a month before I do an oil change and that kind of stuff. But so that's, that's just kind of, that's just, let's see here. Nick Hill asked how many hours. We are at 96:01 right now. If this camera can focus on that. Come on. How come I can't focus on that? You got to take my word for it. 9,601.57. Also, with this Lincoln grease gun, I have two batteries. I got a spare there, and I got one in it. Now, this is the best part about it, is I've got a charger back here. I can charge the batteries in the machine. The Lincoln grease gun I love. Nothing wrong with the Lincoln grease gun. The batteries suck. Frost breakers, yes. Andrew made it. How you doing, buddy? Let's see. Maybe Jason will come up and weld for me. I don't think I've got anything broken right now at the moment. Andrew says he loves the John Deere 110. The John Deere 110 was a pretty cool machine that they built for a few years. And I'm not sure why it... Well, I'll tell you why it died. There's a conspiracy against backhoes, I'm telling you. And, everybody has a mini excavator. I think that's why. Milwaukee has a good grease gun. I've been kind of looking at those. Old man Marsh, I'm not sure who you're talking to. I think it may be me. And yes, I will try to remember to weld my verticals uphill. Anybody that tells you that, well, never mind. Grease gun is an 18 volt, Jared. And I've had it for, I've still got an old 12 volt at work, but the battery's died out on it, and I don't have the battery charger for it anymore, so it's gone. I gotta tell you something. I really screwed up the other day. I pulled the pump off this Bobcat before my battery dies. But hey, Tim, how you doing, buddy? Eric has a DeWalt cordless. He has a 20 volt DeWalt, I believe, or maybe it's an 18. I think it's 20 volt. But that dude is heavy. You gotta have arms like Eric to carry the dadgum thing around. It like weighs 30 pounds. So I'm not really a fan of that. I don't know if this charger deal is working or not. Mighty Mo says he lost the feed. Anybody else lose the feed? Okay, are we still here? Mighty Mo says he lost the feed. I'm still showing I'm on the feed, but okay, am I back or am I not back? Jeremy says I'm back. Okay, here we go. Cool. Had to close out and restart the vid. All right, I'm hoping I'm still here. All right, good deal. Everybody's back. I'm down to 28, 27. Okay, well, dadgummit, I had a few people on here watching. Sorry about that. I really didn't plan to be on here very long tonight. Maybe 30 minutes. Oh, Tim, I was talking about the Bobcat earlier. I pulled up, called the guys at Loader Parts Source, and Loader Parts Source people said that you ought to test it with just cap off the lines. So I put the engine all back in it and I tested it, and sure enough, it's got a bad pump. Andrew says my footer video was great. Thank you, sir. I hope Andrew he teaches heavy equipment. What exactly all do you teach, Andrew? He said he was going to use my video. That's kind of scary to think that there's people out there going to be watching me trying to learn stuff. I care too much for my red truck to be up there drag racing. No way, man. No way. We are probably, Tim, I don't know that I want to get involved in the rebuild on that. I think I could handle it. It's just I'm not sure that I want to. If it was my machine, I would probably try that. So you teach, he says he teaches heavy equipment and diesel. I'm probably fixing to lose you guys again. Dang it. Upstate New York. I thought I had a charger going here, but apparently I don't. OKW don't need to be racing. I agree with that. Like I say, I care too much for that little truck. That's my baby. I can't be tearing it up out on the racetrack. All right, we'll see if we can get another charger set up here. One of these days, you would think I would figure this deal out, but okay, I think we're charging now. I think we've got a good source. Hey, I want to show you something somebody sent me out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. This actually came from H&L. They make backhoe teeth. Actually, they invented the Series 23 backhoe tooth. So they are the inventor. I mean, this is a set of rock teeth I've got on the machine right now. But anyway, they sent me this little setup here, and this is a pin caddy is what they call it. And the part number is, what is that? B23HL, and it comes with 5 pins. They call this a pin caddy, but what it is, you use this to install and replace your teeth basically. But you use this end to push the old pins out, and you use this end here to put the new ones back in. If I was not holding my cell phone, I think I've got a video of using the other brand. It's called a Pin Master. But those guys sent me this, and they wanted me to do a product video or a review on it, I guess what they said. So at some point I'll do that. The cool thing about this is made in Oklahoma, USA. This, I mean, we buy so much stuff that comes out of China. These teeth right here came out of China. But I can buy these teeth that are better in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I'm sure they'd last longer. They might cost a little more, but they'd last longer. But what would be better than using Oklahoma-made teeth to dig Oklahoma rock? So I'm gonna be heading up to Tulsa pretty soon, and I'm hoping to go visit the H&L guys. And hopefully sometime I'll do a little comparison between this and the Pin Master. I mean, I think they're comparable tools, but I want to put them side by side. This dude is forged steel. It's heavy duty. I like how they've flared out this. They've actually tapered that out to a wider point where you hit it with a hammer. But all their stuff is forged steel. I mean, they make cast teeth too, and cast parts. These are probably cast. I know they came out of China. I bought them at John Deere, but they came from China. So anyway, but that was pretty cool. I mean, the YouTube deal is really neat when you see somebody you know, when you got somebody send you something like that out to you, that's just pretty cool stuff. USA is great. Oklahoma, to me, is like, that's just icing on the cake right there, man. I mean, Tulsa's only 2 hours from where I live. That's not that bad. But anyway, Tim has made me some teeth, and when I do the review, I'm going to try to put Tim's teeth on there, so look for that. Tim has made me some teeth I cannot wear out, I'm pretty sure. Jason, I'm not sure you can machine a tool as good as that one, because that's forged steel. I mean, machine steel and forged steel. I built one a long time ago, I welded one up, and it lasted probably a year before it broke off, and that was disappointing. But it's so much easier to use than the piece of rebar or whatever else you find to try to drive them things out. But I've got another. It's going to be pretty interesting if we can get the deal going with H&L. They're going to get me some teeth that are actually going to change us from a side pin to a very simple top pin. So I'm very interested in looking at those. And the guy up there told me we could probably look at those. And anyhow, I've get your feet. This is where I sit when I eat lunch right here. This is my office, man. Come on. Machine it, heat treat it. That'd probably work. That'd be way better than welding it up like I did. So, but maybe we can get a hold of one for Brandon too, because I know Brandon uses teeth from H&L. Maybe I'll see what I can do. Maybe we'll get him hooked up on one of those. Trying to catch up on some comments. Sorry guys, if I missed you, it's because I'm looking at a little bitty phone screen and trying to catch up. But Barkley Gentry says he's late to the party. I don't think you're late. You ain't missed much. Jason says, you know, Ford or New Holland had a top pin tooth, and I hated it because they were a roll pin, and it seemed like you never could keep them in. They was always falling out, and if they were in very long, they would rust, and then they would fall out anyway. So I had quite a bit of trouble with them. What time are you doing a live stream, Jason? I don't want to run interference on that. I just had a little bit of time this evening. I thought I'd jump on here. Wayne Timmons says he's New Holland burnt. That's not good. Split pins on the Mini. They're probably a different pin, Jason, than what New Holland used. The New Holland used like a roll pin, like a hardened steel roll pin. I didn't like them. Where does my secretary sit? That's Dell. That's you don't need to know that. She sits wherever the hell she wants to. Mostly. Another hour for. Okay, good. Yeah, you guys are always late. The nuns are cooking. I don't guess I catch that. 5:55, that'll start when nothing else does. I'll tell you what, this backhoe here will start pretty easy. Of course, in Oklahoma, we're not dealing with Canada weather or anything like that, or New York, I'm sure, but I have started this machine down to, single digits, and if you're careful, I say you got to be careful. You can get this machine running on a pretty cold day. The one I had before, it was a single battery. there was a couple of mornings I had a space heater underneath it trying to heat it up, and that's not fun. But let's see. Percentage front to back, how much you use per each. You're talking front end loader, Aaron. I guess you're talking front end loader and backhoe. I would say probably 75% of my work is with the backhoe, but there are jobs where I go out and do 100% loader work. So that's kind of tough to it's kind of tough to knock that down. One of the benefits of having a front end loader backhoe is you say you go out to a footing job and the contractor's Bobcat breaks down or something like that, or you need to load trucks and they don't want to load them with a Bobcat, they'll pay you to load it with a backhoe. So that's a benefit of having one machine with two ends on it that are functional. I don't know anything about open cab mini X's, and I'm sure an open cab would have more room. The thing about an open cab mini X is in the wintertime, you're going to freeze your butt off. Picture a refrigerator with a head. I'm not making that up. A battery heating blankets, that would probably help. I'm waiting on that vid with you replacing the teeth on a 12-inch bucket, Billy says. Billy wants me to make a video. I like it when people want me to make a video. I try my best, guys, to make videos of good stuff. Eastco teeth. I think Eastco has their own brand of, if I'm not mistaken, I think they've got their own brand of shank. So that's kind of a tough deal. You got to change out your whole shank and everything. Let's see. Jason says he's got a lot of room in his Mini X. You got plenty of room in there. What? Tim, I'm not even going to comment on that. Eric's tied up tonight. He's working on something important, I'm sure. So one of these days we're going to get us we're going to get us a live stream. Me and Eric's going to be on a live stream together one of these days. Hey, Mark, thank you. Appreciate you watching. Thanks for the kind words. Well, like I said, I think it's probably 75% on the back end, 25% on the front end. Just a guess. I don't know. Do I always keep flared teeth in the center? Sometimes I run them on the outside edges if I'm trying to dig a ditch wider than my bucket. I will run those wide teeth on all, even on the corners. There are a lot of advantages. You can make people mad when you're inside a glass cab. Of course, I have had them throw rocks at me, and that's not good for glass. But the water hose can't get to you. That's it. That's a good point. One of the reasons I run the flared teeth is it just makes a nice smooth bottom in the ditch, and you're not, there's just a lot less shovel work and that kind of stuff. A lot of people don't like flared teeth. I like them because it's easier for me to see grade if I'm running flared teeth and I can see a flat bottom. The thing that people don't understand is when you're sitting up here in a backhoe, it looks different than if you're in the ditch. So when you're trying to just look at the grade from up here, I mean, you're sitting up here, you're looking through glass, and this bucket's close to me right now, but this thing can extend out there about 22, 23 feet further. So, and then you're looking down in a hole. So your grade, one of the tricks and one of the things, I'm going to give you another tip on that, is the human eye can see a straight line better than it can see anything else when it comes to grade. So what I do is when I'm trying to dig a grade or I'm trying to dig a flat bottom ditch is I'll look at the sides, and if you look at the side of the ditch where your outside teeth are digging, you can actually see if it's flat. And if you're on a grade, it'll still be flat. And that's usually where I look, is on each side of the ditch, just to see if I'm on grade or if I'm not on grade. That's just another little trick I've learned. Flare teeth are expensive. Let's see what I missed here. I don't have a problem with the 580 case. Here's one. I'm going to give you some differences. Okay, a 580 case is a great backhoe. One of the things I don't like about it that I like better about the New Holland, besides the back window, is you can actually dig closer to yourself with the New Holland. I can almost dig under the pivot pin on this backhoe with this, the New Holland will almost dig up under itself to the pivot pin. That is very important when you're in tight quarters. The case reaches out farther, but the New Holland can actually reach a little bit closer to itself. So that's just an advantage. As far as reliability, machines, actually, if you go sit in a case that has pilot controls, you'll see the exact same setup that the New Holland has. So there's a lot of shared parts. That's one reason I like Case, is I can go to the Case dealer if New Holland ain't got it, because Case usually does. So Hensley's good teeth. What about a Cat 420F? I have run I believe it was a 420, but it was not an F. It was probably a D or an E. I can't remember. I liked it, but there again, the back window on a Cat it's got a parting line right here, and when you're digging a ditch and you're looking right down here trying to see grade, you see window. Just makes it a little bit harder. Nothing I couldn't work around. I actually have considered a Cat as a replacement. Let's see. Andrew says he's not a fan of a Cat. Everybody has their favorites, guys. If anybody tells you there's one machine that's better than all of them, I don't believe them. I like John Deere's. John Deere's got a nice backhoe. I like Case. I like Cat. The one machine I have never sat in the seat of, well, there's actually more than one. There's a T-Rex, or T-Rex, however they say it. I've never sat in a T-Rex. I've never operated a JCB. And what's the other one? Komatsu. Komatsu don't build them anymore, but they used to have a backhoe. So when do I plan to replace this? It's probably going to be within a couple of years. I may keep it. What's in the running for my next backhoe? Probably another New Holland, just because I don't have to buy new buckets. I mean, I've got, you figure $2,000 a bucket sitting out there on the trailer. I've got $8,000 worth of buckets, not counting this one. So that has a lot to do with it. The thing I'm not sure about is, but here's the problem, Jason. I've never seen a Coochie backhoe. If Coochie would build a backhoe, I'd say they're perfect company. But Coochie does not build a backhoe. I'll tell you one thing about Case, one thing about Cat, is you probably never want for parts. You'll probably always have what you need for them. That's important if you're running an older machine. But I will tell you this, I have actually ran it's one of my not so proud moments, but I was pushing out a tree one time and there was a fence post next to the tree. And I pushed the tree over and I went to back up and I thought the fence post went with the tree. It was a wooden fence post. And when I backed up, that wooden fence post slipped up behind my front axle and right through the fan, and it stuck the fan into the radiator. So in about less than 15 seconds, I spent about $1,500. But I will tell you this, my New Holland dealer had my parts for me the next morning by 10 o'clock. I put a brand new radiator, brand new fan, brand new belt, brand new pulley, and I was up and running by probably 1 o'clock the next day. So New Holland has been good for parts too. So, you know, parts, if you can't get parts, you got a problem. I've never seen a 5-stick case. I've seen a 4-stick. Unless you're counting a loader stick, that might count as one. Takeuchi builds a pretty good little Traco, I think. I don't know what, I haven't really been around them that much. Komatsu suck, according to Jared. Like I say, if the best machine you can get is one that you can get and make money with. If you can make money with it, I don't care what color it is. I don't care what it says on the side of it. The thing is, if somebody's telling you have to go buy a cat just to make money, I don't know if I'd agree with that. If they say you got to buy a case to make money, I don't know if I agree with that. Triple nickel is... My dad still has a 555D that I got to run for a few years. Good machines. My first machine was a triple nickel, but it was an E series. And that was like the first models that were built in Italy. And I really liked it. It was a good machine. I probably should have kept it a little longer. But most people that have backhoe experience have been in a case, I think. I mean, for the most part. I think dealers are, if you've got a good dealer, if you've got a good JCB dealer, I wouldn't be afraid of one. I looked at one in Oklahoma City one time. I was looking at a JCB, and they had a brand new dealership, and they were going, they were going to take off there. But coochies and hoes don't go together. All right, that's maybe why they don't make them. I don't know. JCB built some pretty neat looking little mini backhoes. I got to talking to Jonathan a little bit in the comments, and I got to looking. You look at their website, they've got some pretty neat stuff. John Deere, had a brother-in-law that had a John Deere for a while. That was a good machine. I didn't mind it. The only thing I didn't like about the John Deere was you couldn't see over the front. You couldn't see out the front very well. You couldn't see over the hood. They had a big old giant hood on it. The front end loader always felt top heavy to me. But personal preference. This backhoe has shorter tires, which helps out on the top heaviness. The last backhoe I had taller tires, and it felt more tippy than this one does. So there's differences even within brands if you want to get right down to it. But anyhow, guys, I am going to shut this down. I appreciate you checking in, watching this video. I'll flip this around here. My subscribers are the best part of this channel. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You guys are what makes it worth it. Thank you for for watching and commenting. Even if you're going to give me hell, I don't mind. I mean, I'd rather have you guys tell me what you actually think than hide your feelings. So, you see something, let me know. We'll argue about it, whatever. But appreciate you guys. You guys be sure and check out. I'm sure the big Brandon Jason show will be kicking off here soon, and it sounds like they're going to have a special guest. So that ought to be good. I'm sure they'll wear some hats or something like that. Anyway.